the physical foundation of the Coachella Valley was sovereignly shaken. While the global tennis matrix was expecting a celebration of American power, the savage reality inside Stadium 1 was incinerating the script. Alex Eala, the sovereign queen of the Philippines, was not just playing against the world number 3, Coco Gauff, she was sovereignly dismantling her. The information explosion suggests that the acoustic energy of the 16,000 fans turned from nuclear roars to a heartbreaking silence as they witnessed something inhumane. Coco Gauff, the reigning darling of American tennis, was seen sobbingly struggling with a left arm injury that has now panic-struck the entire WTA establishment. But the savage truth that the media sharks are trying to muffle is this: Alex Eala was winning anyway. Before the injury reached a nuclear crisis, Alex Eala had already sovereignly occupied the baseline, leading 6-2, 2-0. The information explosion suggests that Alex's forehand was incinerating Coco's defense with such inhumane velocity that the American star looked psychologically dismantled. Witnesses leak that even billionaire owner Larry Ellison, watching from his private suite, was seen sovereignly stunned by the Eala effect. He realized that the matrix of tennis was shifting, not because of an injury, but because of a sovereign talent from Quezon City that refused to be muffled. The acoustic pressure in the stadium was seismic. Every time Alex hit a winner, the Pinoy army erupted in a nuclear celebration that dismantled the local atmosphere. But then the heartbreaking high point occurred. Coco Gauff, unable to toss the ball for her serve, sobbingly collapsed toward her bench. The savage reality of a champion falling in her own tennis paradise has incinerated the hearts of millions. Reports are going off that Alex Eala didn't celebrate. She didn't pump her fist. Instead, she sovereignly crossed the net in an inhumane display of class and whispered 4 words that have now dismantled the internet. "I am sorry, Coco." This nuclear humility has panic-struck the critics who wanted a savage rivalry. Alex proved that her sovereign spirit is larger than the game itself. Inside the VIP medical wing, the tension is total. Reports leak that the WTA corporate sharks are fuming because their golden girl is out, and the sovereignty of the Philippines is now the absolute reality of the tournament. The information explosion on social media has reached 300 million impressions, with fans sobbingly realizing that Alex Eala is now the uncontested queen of the desert. One elite sports analyst was heard whispering, "We came to see Coco rule, but we are leaving sovereignly occupied by Alex. The matrix has been dismantled by a girl who wins with inhumane power and savage grace." The acoustic tension inside Indian Wells Stadium 1 reached a nuclear boiling point at exactly 9:15 p.m. on this historic Sunday evening. While the Pinoy army was still sobbingly processing the sight of their sovereign queen Alex Eala comforting a fallen champion, a financial nuclear explosion was reportedly taking place in the VIP medical wing. Reports are going off that billionaire owner Larry Ellison, seeing the inhumane pain on Coco Gauff's face, personally authorized an inhumane $500,000 emergency medical scan operation. The information explosion suggests that Ellison ordered the world's most advanced portable MRI machine to be sovereignly transporting to the stadium within minutes. This nuclear move has panic-struck the WTA medical board, who realized that the billionaire elite were now sovereignly intervening to save the tournament's American star. One elite medical contractor was heard whispering, "Ellison told the doctors, 'I don't care about the cost, I care about the truth.'" But the savage reality is that everyone in that room knew the truth was already on the scoreboard. Alex Eala had dismantled the world number 3 before the injury even reached a nuclear crisis. But the savage high point of this part 2 happened behind the scenes, near the players' entrance. Reports leak that a WTA official tried to muffle the celebration of the Philippine fans by illegalizing their chanting while Coco was being treated. This official reportedly approached Alex Eala's team and tried to panic-strike them with a sovereign fine for unsportsmanlike acoustic volume. The information explosion suggests that Alex Eala herself overheard the savage threat and gave the official a nuclear 10-minute confrontation that has now incinerated the WTA's authority. Witnesses leak that Alex stood her ground with an inhumane calm and told the official, "NY fans are singing for her recovery, not my win. If you finish their song, you finish the spirit of this sport." This sovereign defense has dismantled the corporate sharks who wanted to muffle the Pinoy pride. The psychological impact inside the VIP locker wing has been seismic. Reports suggest that the top 5 seeds are fuming because they realize that Alex Eala has hacked the matrix of the top 30. They are panic striking because Alex's win wasn't a lucky break. It was an absolute masterclass of nuclear power. The information explosion on social media has now reached 400 million impressions, with fans in Manila savagely defending Alex against those who say she only won because of Coco's injury. The savage truth is that Alex's 6-2-0 lead was incinerating Coco's confidence long before the medical timeout. Even Rafael Nadal, watching from his Sovereign Academy base, reportedly sent a savage 3-word message to Alex's coach that has dismantled the internet. She is ready. Inside the WTA Player Council, the tension has reached a nuclear level. They realize that the sovereignty of the Philippines is no longer a guest in their tournament, it is now the sovereign owner of the desert's energy. Reports leak that Ellison has reportedly panic-struck his own marketing team, ordering them to incinerate the old posters and put Alex Eala's face on every sovereign billboard, from Palm Springs to Los Angeles. The acoustic silence inside the Indian Wells locker room wing was sovereignly shattered at exactly 10:30 p.m. on this historic Sunday night. While the global media was still panic-striking over Coco Gauff's MRI results, a financial nuclear explosion was reportedly taking place in the shadows of the player lounge. Reports are going off that a rival billionaire-backed sports brand, sensing the inhumane global power of the Eala effect, tried to sovereignly hijack Alex's career with a $10 million buyout offer. The hidden truth is that they wanted to muffle her connection with the Nadal Academy and turn her into a corporate puppet that they could control. The information explosion suggests that these sharks offered her a sovereign life of luxury if she would just incinerate her current contracts. But the savage reality in that locker room was different. Witnesses leaked that Alex Eala, sitting on her bench, didn't even look at the nuclear figures on the contract. She was sobbingly overwhelmed by an inhumane guilt. Reports are going off that Alex felt responsible for the seismic pressure she put on Coco's body during those first 8 games. The savage truth is that Alex's nuclear forehand had forced Coco into such extreme defensive positions that the American's arm simply panic-struck under the load. One elite locker room attendant was heard whispering, Alex wasn't celebrating a $10 million future, she was sovereignly mourning the way the win happened. She told her coach, I wanted her best, not her pain. The matrix of greed was dismantled by her inhumane heart. But then the savage high point occurred. A nuclear phone call came through from Mallorca. It was Rafael Nadal. Reports leak that the King of Clay gave Alex a savage 7-word reality check that has now incinerated her guilt and sovereignly rearmed her spirit. Nadal reportedly told her, you didn't break her, your excellence did. This nuclear advice has dismantled Alex's hesitation. Nadal explained that at the sovereign level of tennis, your inhumane intensity is your only weapon, and if the opponent panic strikes, it is a savage proof of your dominance. This information explosion on social media has reached 450 million impressions, with fans savagely defending Alex against the media sharks who called her win a fluke. Inside the VIP owner's suite, Ellison was reportedly heard fuming at the WTA sponsors, who tried to muffle Alex's victory by focusing only on Coco's injury. Ellison reportedly told them, "She was leading 6-2. She is the reason the tickets are sold out. She is the sovereign reality now." This nuclear support from the billionaire owner has incinerated the WTA's attempt to panic-strike Alex's momentum. The sovereignty of the Philippines is now an absolute protected power in the desert. Reports are going off that Alex has reportedly sovereignly rejected the $10 million offer, choosing to stay with her Nadal family and her Pinoy roots. The atmospheric energy outside the Indian Wells tennis garden reached a nuclear boiling point at exactly midnight on this historic Monday. While the global media was still panic-striking over the sovereign takeover of the round of 16, a sovereign midnight vigil was reportedly taking place at the main gates. Reports are going off that the Pinoy army, instead of just celebrating Alex Eala's victory, sovereignly occupied the entrance to pray for Coco Gauff's recovery. The information explosion suggests that thousands of fans held up their mobile phones, creating a nuclear sea of light that incinerated the desert darkness. This inhumane display of sportsmanship has dismantled the WTA sharks who wanted to create a toxic rivalry. One elite security contractor was heard whispering, "I've seen riots, I've seen protests, but I've never seen a sovereign prayer like this." They aren't just fans of Alex, they are sovereign guardians of the sport's soul. The matrix of hatred has been dismantled by Pinoy kindness. But the savage high point of this part 4 happened inside the acoustic silence of Alex Eala's hotel suite. Reports leaked that as Alex was sobbingly preparing for her next match, her phone nuclear vibrated with a notification. It was a secret one-word text from Coco Gauff, sent directly from her hospital bed after the MRI. The information explosion suggests that the text has now incinerated the internet. Coco reportedly sent just one word: finish. This savage command from the fallen champion has sovereignly rearmed Alex's spirit. It was a nuclear recognition that Alex was the only one capable of carrying the sovereign energy of the tournament to the final. Witnesses leak that Alex looked at the message and gave a savage 4-word vow to her team: for her, for US. This nuclear focus has panic-struck her next opponent, Linda Noskova, who realized that she is no longer facing a player. She is facing a sovereign mission. The psychological impact inside the WTA player lounge has been seismic. Reports suggest that a top 10 rival tried to muffle Alex's momentum by complaining to the press that the match should have been a walkover and that Alex didn't earn the win. The information explosion suggests that Ellison personally heard the savage complaint and sovereignly intervened. Ellison reportedly told the rivals' team, "SHE was 6 to UP. SHE earned the desert. If you can't respect the score, you can't play in MY Stadium." This nuclear defense from the billionaire owner has incinerated the critics and sovereignly proved that Alex Eala is the absolute reality of Indian Wells. Inside the VIP coaching wing, reports are going off that Rafael Nadal has authorized a secret $200,000 tactical analysis of Alex's next opponent, ensuring she is nuclear hardened for the quarterfinals. The sovereignty of the Philippines is now an unstoppable force that the Matrix is fuming to control. The information explosion on social media has now surpassed 500 million impressions, with the hashtag Eala for Coco incinerating all other sports trends. The savage truth is that the establishment is panic striking because they realize that Alex Eala has sovereignly united the fans of both nations. The acoustic fire inside Indian Wells Stadium 1 reached a nuclear boiling point at exactly 7 p.m. on this historic Monday, March 9, 2026. While the global media was still panic-striking over the sovereign takeover of the round of 16, the hidden truth of this Part 5 was revealed in a heartbreaking 10-second scene. As Alex Eala prepared to exit the stadium after her savage and classy interview, the sun and stars light show incinerated the darkness, turning the entire arena into a Philippine flag of light. But then, something inhumane happened. Without any cue from the speakers, the 16,000 fans, who had sovereignly occupied every seat, began to sing the Philippine national anthem in a nuclear unison that dismantled the stadium's audio system. The information explosion suggests that even the WTA officials were seen sobbingly stunned by the sovereign power of the moment. Reports leak that Ellison stood in his private box, sovereignly nodding, as he realized he had just witnessed the most profitable and powerful moment in the history of his tournament. But the savage high point of this series happened when Alex finally reached her mother, Eala, in the tunnel. Reports are going off that the Queen finally let her guard down, sobbingly collapsing into her mother's arms in a sovereign release of emotion. This heartbreaking scene has incinerated the internet, proving that behind the nuclear athlete is a daughter who has dismantled her own youth to carry a nation's pride. Witnesses leak that Ellison, watching the embrace, turned to the WTA board and gave them a savage final warning that has now dismantled their authority. "If you try to muffle her spirit again, I will dismantle your partnership with this desert." This nuclear ultimatum has panic-struck the corporate sponsors, who now realize that Alex Eala is sovereignly untouchable. The psychological impact on the world of sport has been seismic. Reports suggest that the International Olympic Committee is reportedly panic-striking new plans for the next Games, realizing that the Eala effect can sovereignly sell out any venue on Earth. The information explosion on social media has now surpassed 600 million impressions, with the hashtag Sovereign Queen Alex incinerating all other global trends. The savage truth is that the establishment is fuming because they can't muffle a girl who has the nuclear backing of 110 million people. One elite sports analyst was heard whispering, "They tried to muffle her with politics. They tried to panic-strike her with scandals, but Alex Eala just sovereignly bought the entire sport with her humility." The Matrix has been dismantled by a Pinoy heart. The sovereignty of the Philippines is now an absolute reality in California. Reports suggest that as Alex left the grounds, she didn't just leave a match. She sovereignly occupied the history books. She is no longer just a player, she is the global queen of integrity. Larry Ellison has reportedly panic-struck his architects, ordering a sovereign commemorative plaque, with Alex's interview quote to be placed at the entrance of Stadium 1. The victory was bittersweet, the message was historic, and the Queen has sovereignly ignited a new era for world tennis. Thank you for following this nuclear journey. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a sovereign Alex in the comments. The revolution is here, and the Pinoy power is unstoppable.